everyone. On behalf of the Illinois High School Association, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2013 IHSA State Speech Awards. My name is Susie Knobloch, and I'm the Assistant Executive Director at the Association and your administrator for the tournament. And like so many of our tournaments at the IHSA, our events could not be possible without the help of countless volunteers. I'd like to first begin by thanking the folks who worked behind the scenes to make this tournament successful. Our state final committee consisted of Stan Austin from Wheaton North High School, Erica Bannock and Tom Whitting from Burbank Revis High School, Eric Berry from Carbondale High School, Nicole Carino from Downers Grove South High School, Chuck Cavazos, Elk Grove Village High School, Andrea Gustafson from Morris High School, Ellie Marvin from Normal Community West High School, the team of Chuck and Jill Price from Sterling High School, Tracy Repa, Buffalo Grove High School, thanks to Greg Solomon from DeKalb High School, Mark Urban from Blue Island Eisenhower High School, Tina Winings from Charleston High School, and Diana Sluter from Eureka High School assisted at registration. I'd also like to thank some students who volunteered their services this weekend. Our students that served as tournament personnel came from Limestone High School, Downers Grove South High School, Eureka High School, Normal West, Pekin, Peoria, and Washington High School. Thank you. Thanks also goes to our PIR coordinator and assistant, Ms. Pat Wozni, and Mr. Elijah Wilson, who was our individual events coordinator and assistant. This tournament would not be possible without the help of Ben Stewart, the founder, CEO, and president of Speechwire Tournament Services. And a little tidbit or fact, Ben Stewart was actually in your shoes at one time, as he was also a competitor and finalist at an IHSA state speech tournament. So it's nice to see one of our own come back and serve and actually create quite an entrepreneurship for himself through tournament services. I also want to thank our coordinator of awards, Hunter Evans, our coordinator of room chairs and timers, Justin Makovich and Katie Ritchie, Extemp and radio prep done by Carrie Crumwitty and Joe Koza, and the Peoria Civic Center and our manager, Cassie Hart. That is quite a list, as you can see. We could not do our tournament without all their help. I also want to extend thanks and recognition to our state final manager, Ms. Jan Heiteen. And before we begin our program, I just want to thank our coaches and our participants from our member schools. What an opportunity you have as you can sit back today and enjoy the fruits of your labor. The IHSA mission is to enrich the educational experience, and there is not an activity in our state that exemplifies the opportunity to do exactly that. At the end of the day, we have 3 trophies on the stage and 1 state champion in each event. But regardless of that, all of you in this audience have gained skills, opportunities, friendships, and the ability to enrich your educational experiences through these wins and losses. So make sure that during this evening you take a moment to reflect on what you've done through your season and this weekend. Reconnect and rekindle those friendships you have with fellow teams and teammates, and remember that not everyone has an opportunity to experience a state final like this one. So congratulations and good luck to all of you. Before we continue our program with recognition of some of our retirees and introduction of our Master of Ceremonies, I'd like for you to please rise as we hear the national anthem sung by Josh Hosick and Jacob Mara from Morris High School. Josh and Jacob were actually participants in speech individual events and informative and humorous duet acting. So it's our privilege to introduce them to kick off our ceremonies.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now I'd like to introduce you to our state final manager, Ms. Jan Heiting, who will be recognizing our retiring coaches in honor of the John M. Myers Distinguished Service Award.
Really noisy when you walk on this. So how many of you are going to get to come up here tonight? Raise your hand if you're coming up here tonight on the stage. Raise your hand. Yeah, go. Okay, great. You don't remember if you were. You were in the final round if you get to come up here. Just a quick history lesson. When I was in high school, there was a gentleman who was coaching. Wow, he was in Peoria, and then he was at Rock Island, and then he landed at Downers Grove South High School, where he was until he passed, over 10 years ago. And his name is John Michael Hires. And, oh, you can clap for John Hires if you know him. And it was my honor to coach with him for over 20 years. The thing that most impressed me about John, always, if you listen to people talk about doing any kind of activity in school, they always say it's about the kids, and it is. It's about the kids. But I've never met a person that meant it as deeply as John Hires did. He was an advocate for students. He was an advocate for speech and theater in our state and around the nation. And because of this and so many other things that he did, we named an award in his honor, and it is the John M. Hires Distinguished Service Award, which is given to individuals who have shown distinguished service and are retiring from the teaching and or coaching profession. And it's always our honor to get to see these individuals because they are trailblazers like John. And it is my honor to, in his name, recognize the following individuals. First, Stan Darrow, Paxton Buckley Loda High School. Now, I began coaching in the Champaign area, so I've known Stan for a very, very long time. He has the honor of having been the coach of the very first impromptu speaker. So I'd like all the impromptu speakers in the room to stand up and give this man a hand. Come on, impromptu. But wait, there's more. He also was a coach of a state champion in prose, and that student went on to be a national champion in the National Forensic League. Now, many of you don't know that much about Paxton or Buckley or Loda. And he's fine with that, but they're a consolidated district, and the individuals from many different communities came together, and Stan has been their champion for a very, very, very long time. He is a voice of reason, but he is a soft-spoken voice of reason. He always listens, and people listen to him because he is one of the sweetest individuals I've ever met. It's true. It's true. So it is my honor to give the John M. Hires Distinguished Service Award, and by the way, John knew him and was very proud of him, by the way. You also have champion in extemp as well. 2 years in a row. Did he win impromptu both years? 2 years in a row, impromptu and extemp. That doesn't happen very often. So would you please join me in congratulating Stan for the recipient of the John M. Hires Award. Please stay up on stage. Now, as I said, I was in the Champaign area, and one of the very first people that where are the Champaign kids? Are they here? Hi, Champaign. It was Central, though. Sorry, Centennial. Oh. And I had the privilege of meeting a remarkable, remarkable woman. The next recipient is Joanne Miller, Tremont High School. I know she's here. Joanne, come on down. Now, you will be amazed to find out that Joanne has coached for over 50 years. You're not going to believe that, the part that she doesn't look a day over 39. You're very welcome. How many of you know where Tremont is? Again, small, a few people do. There you go. Again, a small school, but the coach has a big, big heart. She retired from teaching in the 90s, but because she believes in our programs, she has stayed involved all of these years. And finally, this year, she is going to take a little bit more time for herself. Is it okay if I tell them that how young you are? She is proud to tell you that she is 80 years young. So please congratulate. Oh, she was also at Stark County. Please rise and give a round of applause to Joanne Miller. Now, when people ask who is one of the nicest people in speech and theater, I want them to say me, but they don't. Instead, the name that most frequently comes out of the mouths of all of you, much to my aggravation, is Molly Burrows, Peoria High School. Molly, come on down. Molly has been coaching for 35 years, and 33 of them she has brought students to the state tournament. She is a lead teacher in District 150 in performing arts, and when you talk about the marriage of programs in speech and theater, Molly Burrows comes to mind. And I think this is the kind of thing that keeps our programs young and thriving. She is synonymous with Peoria High School speech, and she is a leader in Central Illinois. She just said to me in the hall just a little while ago, "How's retirement?" I said, "Good." She said, "You know, I don't know how I feel about it. I might want to keep doing some stuff. So you're going to call me next year, and I'll come over and do anything you need for the state tournament." That's the kind of individual Molly is. I am proud to give another John Hires Award to Molly Burrows. Our next recipient. This woman's name is synonymous with glitter. If you don't know who I'm talking about, you haven't spent very much time in the central part of the state. But please welcome to the stage Tina Winings from Charleston High School. If there had not been a Tina, there would not be a speech and theater program in Charleston, Illinois. Simple as that. She is a champion of all students, but very, very much so students in the arts, in speech and theater. She does drama, she does group interp. Have you bought your group interp costumes yet? They're already. If you need something done, you typically go to the busiest person, because the busiest person will always find 5 more minutes to do one more thing. Tina would never, ever let you know that she's the busiest person, because again, I want you to believe that I am. But indeed, I believe that it is Tina. She is a leader in our state organization. She is the champion of all students, but also coaches as well. She is a master teacher, and I am proud to offer John Hires Dedicated Service Award to Tina Winings. Please give her a hand. Our final recipient of the evening probably needs little introduction, because she has coached and taught at many, many schools. So many that when Mr. Ewan asked what he should put on the plaque for her school, I said, "Citizen of the World." Would you welcome to the stage Patricia Wozni from Thornton, Thornwood, Rich Central, Downers Grove South, and wherever else she felt like working, because everybody wanted her. Pat Wozni. Oh, sure. You could make a hug afterwards, too. Okay. I'll hug you all together later, one collective hug. Now, Pat asked me to be funny. As you know, I am not. Oh, no, yes, you are. Thanks. And she wanted me to also tell you, mostly for the sake of Tom Zurazin, that she, too, is a phenomenal dinner companion. For those of you that were at that state tournament, sorry, Tom. Pat has done speech, she has done theater, she is the queen of group interpretation. No matter who you ask, they'll tell you that. But she has given her gifts to students all around the state. She runs our state drama and group interp contest. She has run the state meet at Thornwood High School, and just because retirement was fun, but being with kids was more fun, she has spent the last number of years working at Downers Grove South High School, much to my happiness. We kind of retired together last year, but we just can't stay away. This year she served as the chair of performance in the round, and that went marvelously well. So the most important thing to know about Pat is she is a kid magnet. I don't like it. She would come into my school and children would flock to her, "Miss Wozni, Miss Wozni." And I've spoken to other coaches because she goes to other places just to help out because she thinks it's fun. And she attracts children. There are children following her around. You'll see when you get off the stage. There are 4 or 5 of them. She loves kids, and kids love her right back. It is my honor to give the John M. Hires Distinguished Service Award, to Patricia Wozni. Congratulations to all of the recipients. You make us proud. You make me proud to call myself a coach, because I am among you, and I know students across the state and across the country are better because of your service. If you would step forward so they can take some cute pictures of you, we would appreciate it, and then hugs will be down here. Please stand and give them all a round of applause.
And now our award ceremonies will begin. It is my pleasure to introduce you to the voice of IHSA State Speech and your announcer for tonight, Mr. John Knight.
Hello, everybody. Are you ready for some awards? Are you ready for some awards? Of course you're ready for some awards. I don't know why you had to yell that. So don't you hate when people make you yell louder? How many people hate when they make you yell louder? I thought you did, right? I can hear you. Anyway, we're going to make history at the State Speech Awards ceremony this year because for the first time ever, we are live streaming this out on the World Wide Web. Everyone in the world could possibly be watching this right now. Isn't that exciting? Yeah. So all of you who are state champions, who knows, someone in Guam may turn on the internet and be watching you right now. Have you all seen those signs out there that say, this is a no cell phone zone? Turn them off. You will be punished. You will have all sorts of things happen to you. Well, guess what? Right now, because we are streaming live on the internet and it's the 21st century, take out your phones. Everybody, take them out. Turn them on. And I want you to text and tweet and email and tell people where they can watch this. Here's the website. They've told me this. It's IHSA.tv. And so go ahead, yes, take out your phones. Matter of fact, take a picture right now of everything up here. Send that out. Let's take them all out. Go ahead, take them out. Take a picture of your team. Look, oh, here it is. Here's the IHSA banner, but it's IHSA.tv. Matter of fact, if you go there, not only is it streaming live, but that's also where you can find the link to order the DVD to tonight's awards ceremony. There's also an advertisement in your booklet. It's from prepfilms.com, who's taking care of all of the video, and will make this awards ceremony a DVD that you will treasure and that you will keep forever and pass on to your children and your grandchildren as proof that you were here. All right, so now that you have texted everybody and sent this link and taken your pictures, now then would be a good time to make sure you turn them off. So go ahead, turn them off, not just on silent, because we know someone's will go off during a state championship performance, and boy, that would be really awful, right? You'll have to sit all by yourself on the bus on the way home, and everyone will go, you're the one that your phone went off during the DDA. So take time to turn your phones off now and put them away. That would be fantastic. No, seriously, take them out, put them away. Now we're going to go ahead and really actually start giving out some awards. So first of all, we're going to give our awards for performance in the round. You can applaud. We're going to start with the performance of our state championship performance in the round, and then at the conclusion of their performance, we will present the medals for all of the finalists. So right now, I would like to introduce our first place in performance in the round, this year's 2013 state champions from Moline High School, Peter and the Starcatchers.
You talk too much. Never shut up. I said you talk too much. Oh boy, you never shut up. You talk about people you don't even know. And you talk about places you never go. You talk.
Believe. The story begins with a boy.
When I was a boy, I wished I could fly.
Oh, me too. So did I.
Out the window and over the trees.
High as a cloud and lighter than air.
I dreamed about flying all the time, then looped the loop and all the way up to the stars.
Yeah, okay.
What? Girls dream.
Up to the stars. I like that.
Me too.
Eventually, of course, we dream other dreams. We change. We grow up. It always happens. Nothing is forever.
That's the rule.
Everything ends.
And so, our story begins.
Oh, right. Supposing that we transport ourselves to a different world, where cardboard boxes are boats and umbrellas can be swords.
And we would dream ourselves to be queens,
And captains,
mothers,
orphans, sailors, pirates.
and use your thoughts to hoist the sails in the decks of a ship. A ship we call the Neverland,
Bully-making!
awaiting us on this gray and misty dawn,
And so it was, on the
brink of a new adventure,
And a filthy orphan.
in search of himself.
A lonely star catcher.
in search of a true friend,
And a pirate captain in search of a true enemy.
Set sail on a journey to an unnamed island.
Now this lonely girl you see is one of the last star catchers alive, and she is on a mission. At all costs,
Protect this treasure from falling into the wrong hands.
Come on, little piggies.
on the other side of the deck, a commotion caught her eyes. And at that moment, the evil pirate captain stole a chest full of unknown treasure.
Ah, you boys are so to slavery now. You're off that. You're off to be headless to the pirate captain.
Food for crocodiles is more like it.
The boys are giving up hope.
Their whole lives, no one had ever.
Cared for them. Loved them.
Or believed in them. Which is why I hate grown-ups.
I'll teach you.
And just at that point, the boy saw Molly for the first time.
He stares at her.
She stares at him.
He has an air about him.
The look of a boy who was born for adventure but never came close to one.
And in that moment, seeing the boy,
Molly felt the amulet around her neck pulse a little bit.
Down to the dungeons, all of you.
but before she knew it, the others were gone. In that moment, Molly had to choose between staying true to her duty and following the trunk, or following her gut, which meant following that boy into the dungeons.
Eat you, little piggies. Oh, thank you. Oh, hungry. It's alive. Worm! See that big worm! Boy!
You! Wait.
What are you doing? You're gonna get us whipped. Excuse me? Don't mind him. He's got a problem with authority.
I have a question.
Oh, you do? All right. What?
Do we have to stay down here? In the dark?
Till we hand you over to the captain.
Is the captain nice to his servants?
That's two. I've got a sick feeling about this. Don't worry. I'll think of something.
No, you won't!
What is it? What are you?
I'm a girl.
No way!
Yes, I am. I'm Molly, and I'm here on a very important mission.
Well, we've got important things to do.
No, we don't.
What's so important?
Molly felt her amulet pulse again.
You. Well, for starters, saving you. Saving you all. I overheard them. You're not going to be servants. Instead, he's going to feed you to the crocodiles.
Liars!
I'm not lying.
No, grown-ups. They all lie.
Well, I'm not lying. But trusting me is a decision that's yours. That's the rule.
Let's go.
Yes, save us, Mother. Molly. Well, that's what I said. Save us, Molly.
And you are?
Ted. Prentice.
And who are you, boy?
Leave me alone.
He doesn't have a name. He didn't work for too long to remember.
Go on. You and your stupid names go follow some stupid girl.
Like we need your permission, nameless.
Doesn't cost much to be nice. Charmless. Now this way to safety. Will you come with me? Something tells me I need your help.
Why me? They'll go with you.
I've just got this feeling it's gotta be you.
Why should I help? Whoever helped me.
Someday you'll learn there are more important things than saving your own neck.
Like what?
Like saving someone else's.
As no one had ever shown the slightest interest in him before, the boy's eyes began to sparkle, and the lure of a friend wiped some of the misery from his face. He closed his eyes tight and heard the whistle of a song he could barely remember.
And saw a shadow of a dream he hoped he might have.
Father and son.
Mother and child.
Even with so little reason to hope,
He still believed.
despite his distress and his sorrow,
He still believed.
That one day, he could be happy too.
I believe.
Will you come with me? Fair warning, boy. By the end of this adventure, I'll reveal the real you after all.
And now we turn our attention to the main deck of the Neverland, where in the captain's cabin awaits something unexpected for Molly and the boy. As they snuck in, they saw
Ted Prentice!
The trunk!
Well, you can't have it unless you give us the key.
Never! We need to see the captain of this ship!
You mean Blackstash?
Hello! Now, you're likely wondering, is this captain entirely evil? Well, fresh melts on Fred. I'm a romantic. There's a poet in me. I've got it. The pirates with scads of panache wants the key to the trunk with the cash. Now, here's some advice. Though I seem to be nice, I'll touch you, slip you up one side and down the other, so you can watch your stomach flop on the deck. I say, Smee, you did explain to this little pair that I want what's in that trunk.
Aye, Captain, but she wouldn't give it up.
Well, don't worry, because once we find the key, I'll find out what's in there and I'll steal it. Or I'm not. Or I'm not. What am I? Blackstash! Oh, yes. Now you. I could see you're worth nothing, but you have got a glow about you. Now give me the key! Leave her alone! Oh, what's that? To my ears, you must save me. A savior? Oh, boy! You have put my piratical beating deep in a twist. Yes, I hope to be hip deep in diamonds, but treasure is a poor substitute for what I really crave. A bona fide hero.
What?
Oh, well, you see, without a hero, what am I? A villain, a pirate in part. And then I see you stand up for this little girl, and I think to myself, can it be? Is he the one I've been waiting for? Ah! Alas, he's no hero. He doesn't even have a name.
You want a hero? Start with a name.
What?
And make it a good one.
You could do that?
I'm the boss, ain't I? How about Long John Larry? Lubia Bob. Oh, we hung a bloke a week ago Wednesday. Pirate Pete, that's him.
Pirate Pete?
Good solid name, Pete it is.
Peter.
Like a rock.
Oh, yeah, Peter. That's it. That's my name now.
I like that.
Oh, me too.
Oh, Peter! Still not a hero, though.
I can make him a hero.
What?
Peter eyed Molly with suspicion. He'd never been called by name before, let alone been called a hero.
But I'm nothing.
If I give you a hero, then you give me this trunk.
Absolutely.
Come with me.
What? Where are we going? Whoa. Are we flying?
Floating among the stars, of course. I used my star stuff to bring us here.
Oh, right. Floating among the stars. And what star stuff?
Decision. I'm going to trust you.
But why? I'm not...
Like looking at the stars? Well, here they are.
There's so many.
They're so safe, like little diamonds.
I like it when they shoot across the sky. Shoo!
Sometimes when they shoot across the sky, they change. And then when they fall to the earth, they end up looking like little bits of sand. Can you keep a secret?
I can.
He can.
Those little bits are star stuff. And there's a ton of it in the trunk in Stash's cabin, and there's some in here. I've been saving it for something special. Someone special.
Star stuff? Let me see!
Not yet. Although this is for you, I have to warn you. Star stuff changes people when they touch it.
How?
Depends on what they want to be.
I just want to be a boy. Could I just be that for a while?
Sure.
So if somebody gets their hands on this star stuff...
They're evil and greedy like...
So if star stuff is so dangerous, why are you after it?
I'm a star catcher. And my job is to make sure that star stuff falls into the right hands.
But why me?
Because... I believe in you, Peter. Look, down there, a storm's coming!
Well, good thing we have all these umbrellas.
No! Down in the sea!
The Neverland! What was that for?
Star stuff only works if you start with a happy thought.
Oh. Well, that worked.
Hurricane, violent storms, cold waves, black skies. Hurricane, violent storms, cold waves, black skies.
Hey, Cat! Don't let that shrug out of your sight! Cat!
Peter!
Molly!
Peter, you saved the trunk! I'll help Ted and Prentice!
But I don't know how!
You'll think of something!
Stay! Keep that boy!
Hurricane, violent storms.
Help! I can't swim! Help! We're lost!
Boys!
We're lost!
Boys!
Peter stole the trunk and he got away.
Me, I have a plan! I can't get the gun!
Molly, I've got the trunk!
Peter!
What do I do?
Whatever you do something big!
But I don't know how! You want the treasure, right? I'll give you the treasure if you give me Molly.
Peter, no, this is meant for you.
And for the first time in his life, Peter did something big.
Decision. This world is better with you in it.
You know that's me. Genuine heroic sacrifice.
A hero.
I got goose pimples all over. It's me, get the trunk. Peter, you're a hero now. We's a couple now, boo. You and me, foes, frenemies, adversaries for life. Till our next adventure.
He's getting away!
Yeah, but he can't get to the star stuff without the key. So just think of all the adventures we're gonna have getting it back.
Yes. You really have changed.
And the two of them began one of life's greatest adventures. Friendship.
But I still want to be a boy for a while.
And a boy you will be.
But Molly grew up.
And one day, instead of coming for an adventure with Molly, Peter came for her daughter, Wendy.
And when Wendy grew up, the adventures passed down to her daughter.
And so the story goes, because a lost boy with a hurt soul was changed into a hero.
One who can learn to trust.
Good friends.
All because one person took the time to say two simple words.
I believe. Whoa.
Hello. There were 6 finalists in performance in the round. We're going to recognize all 6 of them. We have plaques for the top 3, so for 3rd place, 2nd place, and 1st place, we'll ask representatives, the entire team, to come up and receive your trophy. So in 6th place, York High School. In 5th place, Sandburg High School. In 4th place, Thorn Ridge High School. Third place in performance in the round, and please join us up here on stage, all cast members, Glenbard West High School. Second place in performance in the round, Downstrokes South High School. Your state champions performing here in the Starcatcher from Moline High School.
If all things were equal, if the world was sitting right, Mother might have played the game you're gonna play tonight. Memories caught in photographs, moments win or lose. She'd look at them and think of how she'd pass this on to you. Look at her run, look at her throw. Eyes on the ball, heart on the goal. One on a team, bright fields of hope, part of a dream. Look at it.
Once again, here they are, your state champions in performance in the round 2013, Moline High School.
If someone could tell you the day that you arrive, the world is open to you, all you gotta do is try. It's like to feel the rhythm of your feet upon the track.
What we're going to do now is start giving out our state champion trophies. What I'd like for us to do is have the first group come up here on stage of finalists, and the next group of finalists wait right down here in this row. We'll call this our finalist waiting area. So first of all, to the stage, may I have all of the finalists in dramatic duet acting, and down here in our waiting area, extemporaneous speaking finalists. Come on down.
Homeboy, you never shut up. You talk about people you don't even know, and you talk about places you never go. You talk about your girl from head to toe. I said your mouth's moving fast and your brain's moving slow. You talk too much. You never shut up. I said you talk too much. Homeboy, you never shut up. You're the instigator, the orator of the town. You're the worst when you converse, just a big mouth clown. You talk when you're awake. I heard you talk when you sleep. Has anyone ever told you that talk is cheap? You talk too much. You never shut up. I said you talk too much. Homeboy, you never shut up.
In sixth place, from Harrisburg, DJ Duncan and Jillian Miller. In fifth place, from Marion High School, Kyle Fitzgerald and Michelle Caparelli. In fourth place, from Shepherd, Tyler Deutsch and Lindsay Bliss. In third place, from Wheaton North, Katie Coy and Brad Weeder. Your tournament runner-up in dramatic duet acting is from Hinsdale Central, David Gallo and Jenna Sagai. And your tournament champions, from Southland College Prep Charter, Alexis Newsom and Morgan Brown.
You talk too much. Never shut up. I said you talk too much. Homeboy, you never shut up. You talk about people you don't even.
Read it to me again, Gladys.
You ever smell lavender, love? It smells of purple and promise.
Baby breath and Logan. It smells of you.
Well, don't you know about heart?
Well, it is my favorite part. I wish I could read it to myself.
I ain't even got no words to say back. How about I cannot heave my heart into my mouth? Oh, that you came up with that off the top of your head. Wish I did. Just a little Shakespeare for you. Oh, shake it, shake it. I just wish he was here with me. Right now. Holding me. Kissing me. Oh, Gladys, help me out this gown. I never thought I'd see him again or hear from him again, but today was like being born again. Yes, I feel like a little girl again, in love with him. Like a little girl, pure. World War II was extremely hard for women left on a home front. To combat the loneliness left behind by their husbands and loved ones at war, women found solace in one another. Gladys and Leanne are two such women. But what happens when a secret threatens their bond? Saturday night, Sunday morning. By Katori Hall. I just think I can wait on my man forever. He wouldn't wait on you forever. And why you say something like that? You don't know him. Bobby is a gentleman. No, he ain't. Yes, he is. He waited too long to write you, if you ask me. 4 years. Well, he's writing now. Look at the way he be professing his love to me. He'd wait forever on me. I know he would. You can't wait on love. You just gotta grab it wherever you can get a good grip. Yes. You gotta move fast and not at all. Yes. Love is something that happens now. It is happening now. Yes, Lillian, I want to tell you something. I want to propose to Bobby. Gladys, you are the bestest friend a girl could ever have. Just a peach. You're right. I need to move fast. We gonna get married. How you gonna up and do that? You the woman, he's supposed to propose to you. Well, it don't matter. I was not as old-fashioned a gal as you think. Well, you need to be. You propose to him, he'll turn around thinking you gonna take care of him. Oh, Gladys, stop. Leanne, are you sure you love him? Why, of course. You sure it ain't like or lust or lonely? I'm as sure as the Mississippi River is wide. But he ain't here, Leanne. You deserve someone who will be there for you. Right here. Right now. Bobby ain't that kind of man, and I know. Oh, but these letters tell us those letters might be a lie. Can't be a lie. Why you love him so much? Because he's the only man that done touched me soft, Gladys. He's the only man that done made me feel like God inside. You ever felt that, Gladys? I would wait on that feeling again forever. Feel my heart. Before I got them letters, my heart was colder than a Coke. How I feel now. Warm, beating, fast. Like it's kissing my fingertips. Ain't you done ever had someone make your heart beat like this? Yes, I have. Now, I know he loves me. Are you sure? He was ever sure about these things. I am. I'm sorry I never gave this to you before. This is the last one. His last letter. Why you ain't give it to me till now? Well, ain't you gonna open it? Dear Leanne, I've tried and tried to stop thinking about you. You are truly a lily in the valley.
bright as the morning sun. You look prettiest on those Saturday nights, Leanne. But the most god-awful hour of my existence is when Saturday night rolls into Sunday morning. In those wee hours of dawn, I repent my heart's sin for everything I yearn for. I know God will never let me win.
Well, don't you know that one by heart?
My heart knows it well.
Love. Gladys.
Gladys.
Gladys. So you Bobby?
Yes, I am him.
What you? Oh, you lied to me!
I meant every word!
I thought you were my friend!
I am! I want to be your best friend!
Not like that! Not like that! I am not that way! Oh God, you think I'm that way?
I just wanted to make you feel like God inside.
You will never make me feel like that! Oh, you will never make me feel like Bobby! Oh, you are nasty! Sickhead! I thought you were a church-going girl!
I have repented! I repent every day! I repent! I know I ain't supposed to feel like this. Like I'm in love.
You Bobby? Oh God. You ever smell lavender, love? It smells of purple, I promise. Baby breath and longing.
It smells of you.
If we could have the finalists for dramatic interpretation down here in our waiting row for finalists and up on stage after we clear off our table and chairs, we will have the finalists for extemporaneous speaking. Now is when you applaud, please. Excellent.
Hey, sugar, what you gotta say? It started with a whisper, and now is when I kissed her. And then she made my lips hurt. I could hear the chit-chat. Take me to your love shack. Mama's always got a backtrack when everybody talks back. Everybody talks, everybody talks.
In sixth place, from the Illinois Math and Science Academy, Vinesh Kannan. In fifth place, from Coal City, Zachary A. Landers. In fourth place, from Glenbard West, Connor McDonough. In third place, from Wheaton, Warrenville South, Tyler McSennick. In second place, From Downers Grove North, Alex Buckley. And your tournament champion in extemporaneous speaking from Normal Community West, Tyler Ross.
Hey, sugar, what you gotta say? It started with a whisper.
And now your state champion in extemporaneous speaking, Tyler Ross.
As Pepsi gained a foothold in the soda market, Coca-Cola had a bit of an overreaction, deciding that the only way they could move forward was to completely start over as New Coke. And while Hannah Montana may have had the best of both worlds, New Coke was the worst of both worlds. With both poor taste and poor sales, Coke finally realized that perhaps the best thing to do was just go back to the basics and become the Coca-Cola that we still drink today. So perhaps this grand old soda was not in need of rebranding. But the grand old party, the Republican Party, is certainly in need of some restructuring. After they were handed to defeat by Barack Obama in the 2012 election, despite the fact that he seemed ripe for a loss, Bloomberg on February 8th of 2013 explained the key beneficiary that allowed President Obama to win was that of minority groups. And now Republicans are scrambling, wondering what they can do to get the minority vote. Now some are clamoring for a return to the right, but others are pleading for modernism. But all Republicans are wondering today's question: what must the Republican Party do to expand their support among minorities? And today we'll see that they must rebrand themselves through social policies. And we can look through three key areas in which they can do this. First, by looking at comprehensive immigration reform. Second, by examining how they must re-examine marriage equality before finally moving and understanding that by re-examining gun control laws, they can reach out to multiple minority groups. In order to first understand how the Republican Party can rebrand itself through social policy, we need to look at immigration reform. Perhaps there was no more group key in President Obama's re-election in 2012 than that of the Latino vote. As the Washington Post reported on December 8th of 2012, Latinos made up 10% of the electorate in 2012, their highest number in history. And of that Latino electorate, 71% of the vote went for President Obama. Even if he had just garnered 61% of the vote, which still would have been a pretty nice victory for Obama, in the end, Mitt Romney would have won the election. So it is clear that Republicans must re-examine their support from Latinos. And as according to a February 15th, 2013 article published in the New York Times, we can see that the key idea that was keeping Latino voters from voting for Mitt Romney was the lack of a path to legal citizenship status for the nearly 11 million undocumented immigrants living in American borders. While Mitt Romney himself had advocated for simply building a wall and self-deportation, which sounds nice enough, but is actually just making life so hard that the immigrants just leave, which may be a good strategy for getting rid of a girlfriend that you're too afraid to break up with, but it's definitely not the best strategy for immigration reform. And luckily, Republicans are actually realizing this. As according to a February 13th, 2013 article published in Time magazine, Republicans are working since the Senate has reconvened, somewhat bipartisanly with the Democrats, to move towards immigration reform and allowing legal citizenship status and an easier path to immigration for not only the 11 million undocumented immigrants, but for immigrants in generations to come. So by re-examining their stance on immigration reform, Republicans can reach out to the Latino minority and can be a party that can stand on elections for decades to come. Crossing the border from immigration reform, we also need to understand that Republicans must look at how they do marriage equality. According to Reuters, on December 12th of 2012, the gay vote has been one that has not been going to the Republicans. President Bush never got more than 23% of the gay vote, and Mitt Romney failed to get even 15% of that vote. And it's not like being gay means all of a sudden you just love taxes and hate free markets. Instead, it's just the fact that Republicans have this perception of being the party that is against marriage equality. And despite these disappointing numbers in the 2012 election, not much has changed since then. In fact, the New York Times on February 15th of 2013 reported that here in our own state of Illinois, where the Illinois Senate just passed a resolution to allow marriage equality, only one Republican state senator, my own representative Adam Kinzinger, voted to allow marriage equality in Illinois. It's clear that if the Republicans want to move forwards and garner support from the gay community, they must review how they work with the gay community and how they view marriage equality. And the chance is out there, as according to the Wall Street Journal on February 8th of 2013, with court decisions coming up soon on both DOMA and Proposition 8 being sandwiched between resolutions between different sports communities, and the Boy Scouts looking at how they view and deal with the gay citizens and their communities, it is clear that Republicans have a chance to respond and make a name for themselves amongst the gay community, and hopefully bring that percentage up from 15% to maybe a more respectable 30 or 40%. But while immigration reform and looking at marriage equality only truly impact around one minority group, if we're looking at making gun control laws stricter, it has a broader appeal amongst multiple minority groups. If we look to the Baltimore Sun, on January 14th of 2013, we see a poll that explains 52% of Americans support getting rid of assault weapons in America. But when we look specifically at minorities, that number jumps to 73%. And when we look at other things such as stronger background checks and limiting the clip size, minority voters are in the 80th percentile, saying that this is a necessary reform. Meanwhile, Republicans are simply afraid that the NRA might pull their funding and therefore are very unwilling to debate on gun reform. But as Time magazine reported on February 13th, 2013, for the Republican Party to remain a staple in America over the upcoming decades, they must reform gun laws, as public opinion is finally starting to shift, especially amongst minorities, as they are more doubly affected than any majority group is by gun violence. So it is key that Republicans re-examine their stance on gun control. And if they can work together with Democrats to bring stricter gun control laws, perhaps they will garner much more support from minority groups. So today, as we examine how Republicans can rebrand themselves through immigration reform, as well as marriage equality and gun control, we saw that the answer to today's question, what must the Republican Party do to garner more support from minorities, was that they must rebrand themselves through social policies. So while Coca-Cola didn't necessarily need to rebrand themselves, and the Coca-Cola we drink today is still pretty tasty, the Republican Party is in desperate need of rebranding. But hopefully they can come up with a better name than New Republican Party.
If I could have up on stage the finalists in dramatic interp, and down here waiting the finalists in impromptu speaking.
And there's not a word that I've ever heard that could make me change my mind. Words, they'll try to shake you. Don't let them break you or stop your world from turning.
6 finalists in the final round of dramatic interpretation. In 6th place, from Buffalo Grove, Kamisha Perot. In 5th place, from Downers Grove South, Jane Drews. In 4th place, from Thornton High School, Destin Patton Warner. In 3rd place, from Glenbrook North, Amanda Morantz. In 2nd place, your tournament runner-up in dramatic interpretation from Belleville West, Cody Essien. And your tournament champion in dramatic interpretation from Prospect High School, Ivy Fishman.
And there's not a word that I've ever heard that could make me change my mind. Words, they'll try to shake you. Don't.
And now your tournament champion in dramatic interpretation, Ivy Fishman.
My name is Helene Nadla, and if I seem a little nervous right now, it's because, well, this is my very first time speaking here at the Massapequa chapter of the Parents of the Lesbians, the Gays, the Bisexuals, the Transgender, the Questioning, the Creatively Concerned, and others. You know, we should just call this group Why Jimmy Has No Friends. Oh, I'm kidding. Because we are all proud, because we're so special. But I am here to tell you, to prove to you, why I am the most accepting, the most tolerant, and the most loving mother of all time. You'll see. Agatha Christie once said, "The love a mother has for her child is like no other. It knows no laws, no pity, and dares everything in its path." In Pride and Joy, we meet Helene Nadler, who displays her fierce love for her children and all of their quirks. Through her struggles, we realize that it is in our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. Pride and Joy by Paul Rudnick. So it all started about 10 years ago with my oldest child, my daughter, Leslie. Leslie, what was I thinking? She comes to me and she says, "Mother, I'm a lesbian." And I says, "Leslie, let's look at yourself. You're 22, you live with a female social worker. I mean, smell yourself. What is that aroma? Jodie Foster #5? Of course you're a lesbian, honey. I've been telling you that for years." Oh, and she was so happy. We were both so happy because it's all out in the open. And because I am the most loving mother of all time. Oh, wait, 1 year later, my middle child, my son Ronnie. Ronnie, Leslie, do I ever learn? He comes to me and he says, "Ma, I got something to tell you." And he says, "You're gay. It's swell, no problem. Will and Grace, I love that show. It was adorable." But he says, no, Ma, that's not it. I was born into the wrong body. And I says, "So was I. It's called Atkins. Get over it." And he says, "No, Ma. I was meant to be a woman. And I have to sit down." But he looks at me and he says, "Can you imagine always feeling so uncomfortable? So alone and so unhappy?" And I could. So I says, "Ronnie, here's the visa. Go be happy." 9 months later, I am riding high. I'm thinking, look at my beautiful family. There's Leslie and Marsha. That's her partner. They're expecting a baby soon. And then in walks Ronnie, excuse me, Veronica. And she, see, I said it, she comes to me and she says, "Mother, I'd like you to meet my girlfriend, Renee. Yeah, I'm also a lesbian." And before I say something I know I'll regret, in walks my beautiful David. Do you know what he says to me? "Ma, I got something to tell you." And I says, "Let me guess. You're gay, you're transsexual, you're a pregnant Nigerian lesbian flight attendant. What do you got?" And he says, well, first off, I'm gay. And I says, "Yawn next." And then he says, "I'm also seriously into leather." I says, "Well, that's great, I'm into fur." But he says, "No, I'm the president of the International Order of the Gay Leathermen, which promotes bondage, sadomasochism, and verbal abuse." And for just a second, I look at him and I become so intolerant and I just say, "What's wrong with you, huh? Did we not love you enough?" And that night when everyone leaves, I turn to my husband and I says, "Maury, I gave birth to 3 perfect children. What did you do?" And he ignores me. I'm sorry, I'm babbling. It's just, I don't know. lately, I've been feeling very sorry for myself. Forget it. It's just, you know, the other night, my beautiful daughter Leslie gave birth to the most beautiful baby girl, Rebecca Miracle O'Malley Nadler, in that original. No, I think it's wonderful. And after all my children leave and my husband, Leslie turns to me and she says, "Ma, go home." And I says, no, I can stay or I can get you things, don't you worry about it. And she says, "No, Ma, Marcia's here. Go home." Go home. To who? To what? To a husband who ignores me? A photo album filled with ancient history of David in diapers, Leslie holding a tennis racket, and Veronica when she was a man. And that night, I had a dream. I gave birth to Siamese twins. And I thought to myself, why are my children so odd? So hard to shop for. But I looked at them, wiggling in their little crib. And through all of my heartache, a thought arose. At least they'll never be alone. And you know, maybe all my children, with all their mashigas, maybe all they doing is trying to find very new, very individual, and very irritating ways not to be lonely, like me. But that's when I realized it. Not only was I a proud and loving mother, but I could compete. See, told you I was the most loving mother of all time.
If we could have the finalists of informative speaking come on down to our waiting area, and the finalists in impromptu speaking up here on stage. There were 6 finalists in impromptu speaking. In 6th place, from Shepherd, Mike Peretz. In 5th place, from Bartlett, Michael White. In 4th place, from Prairie Ridge, Jack Disselhorst. In 3rd place, from Normal University High, Jay Simmons. Second place in impromptu speaking, from Fremd, Elizabeth Davies. And your tournament champion in 2013 in impromptu speaking, let me say the gentleman's name, your champion from Downers Grove North, Alex Buckley. And now your state champion in impromptu speaking, Alex Buckley.
American president, Jimmy Carter, would top almost no one's list of the top presidents of the 20th century, despite the fact that he seemed a perfect candidate. Coming from his down-home peanut farm in Georgia, he soon proved less adept at manipulating domestic policy, resulting in the infamous Iran hostage crisis. However, Jimmy Carter hasn't let his failures as president get him down, and in his post-president lifestyle, he has actually managed to become an incredible citizen of the world, working in many charity functions and redeeming any mistakes he may have made in office. This situation, in which someone makes their life worthwhile and meaningful through service to others, is inherent in the following Adam Ash quotation: "From what we get, we make a living. From what we give, we make a life." Essentially, Ash is telling all of us that while what we get may help us survive, it does not make our life actually have meaning, or in other words, exist as a life. Instead, it is only what we give to others that helps with this process. From this, we can extract the following universal truth, with which I profoundly agree, that ultimately, we give our life value through others. This is true for 3 key reasons. First, we help improve the world in general. Second, avoid a destructive cycle of self-obsession. And third, learn to transcend our own flaws. One of the most immediate reasons why we give our life value by living through and for others is because we manage to make the world in general a better place. To demonstrate this, we can turn to the life of Italian operatic composer Giuseppe Verdi. During his lifetime, Giuseppe Verdi was someone who certainly received more than enough to make a living. He was one of the world's greatest and most successful opera composers, at a time when for once in your life you could actually make a living at that. However, he was not content to merely coast on his laurels, and he actually took the money he gained from such famous operas as Rigoletto and La Traviata and used it to help his community, opening a home for failed musicians that is still in operation in modern-day Italy. As a result, we can see that Giuseppe Verdi managed to give his life more value by helping others, or making a life out of what he gave. Yet in this case, it is simply because it helped improve the world in general. What Verdi understood and what he argued in all of his operas, I'll listen to quite a few of them, it shows I have no life, is that ultimately, you need to try and find meaning in your life through service to others because this is what makes everyone happy. Verdi decided he couldn't actually make his existence work if he constantly served himself. As a result, he needed to make other people feel better in order to facilitate that. Therefore, we can see that we must live through others in order to find happiness, because it is through this that we make the world in general a better place. Yet an even more central reason why we need to live for and through others in order to give our lives meaning is because we thereby avoid a destructive cycle of self-obsession. We may find this by turning to one of the most self-centered people in history, 19th century novelist Leo Tolstoy. Although we continue to appreciate Tolstoy as one of the world's greatest novelists, the fact was he was not one of the world's greatest people. In fact, he was actually a horrible person. He constantly self-promoted his own novels as the greatest masterworks of history and called himself the greatest man who ever lived. As a result, he was certainly someone who made a living out of what he got, but never even tried to make a life out of what he gave. In the end, he succeeded only in alienating anyone who tried to love him, such as his wife, Sophia, who left him for a man young enough to be his grandson. You go, girl. Ultimately, we can see that for Leo Tolstoy could not give his life greater meaning because he chose not to live through others. But in this case, it was because it would not allow him to avoid a destructive cycle of self-obsession. As you could probably tell, Leo Tolstoy really loved himself, in pretty much every creepy meaning of that term. As a result, he constantly looked within himself for all value and never tried to make other people love him, appreciate him, or realize his talents for what they were, not just a gift to himself, but a gift to the world. This was what destroyed him. Consequently, we can see that we must live through others to find meaning, because if we choose not to, the self-obsession this generates can deeply harm us. However, the single most important reason why we need to live through and for others in order to give our lives meaning is simply because it can allow us to transcend our own lives. This can be shown by the character of Brunhilde, from Richard Wagner's operatic cycle, The Ring of the Nibelung. To put it simply, Brunhilde is a manifestly selfish woman throughout much of the cycle. Gods are going to die, she don't care. People need help, she don't care. Just stick her with her lover Siegfried and let her be happy. In the end, however, Brunhilde is given a shocking choice. While she has often made a living off of what she had gotten, she must now choose to give in order to make a life. She gains the Ring of Power, which Tolstoy ripped off for his overall novel, The Lord of the Rings, and is given a choice. She can either give up her own life to purify it and therefore save the world, or she can choose to keep it and only continue the cycle of destructions that occurred throughout the opera. Ultimately, Brunhilde chooses to destroy herself and the ring's malign power by living for others and throwing herself into her husband's funeral pyre, transcending anything bad she may have done. Hence, we can easily see that Brunhilde gave her life value through what she did for other people, giving up herself to save the ring. But this was ultimately because in the process she transcended her own flaws. At the end of her life, Brunhilde decided that she had essentially wasted many of her years, and that she finally needed to do something that would not just help her, but ensure that everyone around her would know that at heart, she had what it took to be a hero. As a result, she chose to give to others and make her life, even if it ended it, and ended up burning down heaven. Oops. As a result, we can see that we must live through others to find meaning, because by doing so, we can transcend everything that holds us back from being perfect. In our lives, we're often told that we have everything it takes in order to be successful and happy. Yet, as we have seen by analyzing the following Adam Ash quotation, from what you get, you can make a living. From what you give, you can make a life. We must live through and for others in order to find true meaning. We've seen how this can occur through 3 critical lenses of analysis. First, how living for others allows us to make the world a better place. Second, how not living through others locks us into a cycle of self-destruction and of self-obsession. And third, how by choosing to give ourselves up for others, we can transcend all of our flaws. In the end, Jimmy Carter may have failed epically as a president, but just because he did so did not stop him from being a terrible person. By choosing to live for others and not dwell on his selfish mistakes of the past, he has gained meaning.
If I could have the informative speaker finalists up here on stage, and waiting here in our waiting area, the finalists in declamation. There were 7 finalists in the final round of informative speaking. In 7th place, from Morris Jacob O'Mara. In 6th place, from Marion Jasmine Jackson. In 5th place, from Fremd Renata Wetterman. In 4th place, from Nequa Valley, Saurav Patnaik. In 3rd place, from University High School in Normal, Audrey Keene. Your tournament runner-up in informative speaking is from Glenbrook South, Elizabeth Wu. And please, hold your applause. Let me announce each person's name and school so you can hear them clearly, so they all get the wonderful accolades they deserve. So in 1st place, your tournament champion in informative speaking from Homewood Flossmoor, Danye Lewis. And here's your state champion in informative speaking, Danye Lewis.
Before I start this speech, I would like to introduce myself.
My name is Danye Lewis. I'm 16 years old, currently in my junior year in high school, and I'm also blind out of my right eye. I'm sorry. Let me explain that last part. I was born with a disease called glaucoma. The severity of this disease is what caused me to lose vision in my right eye. But I don't want you guys to think this is a pity party. Glaucoma actually has its perks. I don't have to use Scantrons on tests. I get all the notes in my classes before anyone else, and I get to use the Flash Pass at Six Flags. So you know who to call. But the one thing that bugs me about having glaucoma is I always have that one friend that says, "You have glaucoma? That means you can smoke weed in California." The reason I get mad at this statement is because, one, drugs are for thugs. And the other reason is I'm disappointed that the only thing my friends can tie in with my disease is getting high. But it's not just my friends. In general, people in America don't understand glaucoma and its severity. According to the American Optometric Association, glaucoma is the second leading cause of blindness in the U.S. What's even worse is this number is increasing. According to the American Health Assistance Foundation, globally 60.5 million had glaucoma in 2010. This number may increase to almost 80 million by 2020. With such a large number affected, let's explore this disease even further by first opening up your eyes to what glaucoma is, then viewing who it affects, and finally looking at the new advancements and treatments to this rare disease. So, what is glaucoma? Well, according to the National Institute of Health, or NIH website, glaucoma refers to a group of eye conditions that lead damage to the optic nerve. Damage to the optic nerve usually comes from increased eye pressure, also known as intraocular pressure, or for short, IOP. NIH goes on to say that the front part of the eye is filled with clear fluid called aqueous humor. Anything that slows or blocks the flow of this fluid causes pressure to build in the eye. If the pressure gets too high and damages the optic nerve dramatically, you can lose vision in that eye. However, the severity of glaucoma depends on what type you have. The previously mentioned source states that there are 4 types: chronic, acute, congenital, and secondary. Well, sounds more like geometry than a disease, right? Well, let me explain these types briefly. Chronic is the most common type of glaucoma. The problem with this type is that the cause is unknown and there are no symptoms. Therefore, it's hard to prevent and cure. The next type is acute. This occurs when there is a sudden block of fluid in the eye. Unlike chronic, which is painless and damages slowly, acute is quick and causes a painful rise in pressure of the eye. The next type we will discuss is the one I am diagnosed with, congenital. Now, this is usually seen in babies and is often inherited. The symptoms include enlargement of the eye, red eye, and sensitivity to light. See, that's why I can use the Flash Pass at Six Flags, because I can't stand in the sun long. At least that's what I tell them. And the last type is secondary. This occurs when there is any type of harm or injury to the eye. See, it's good to differentiate which glaucoma is which, because you never know when you might have it. So now that we have opened up our eyes to what glaucoma is, it's time to view who it affects. Wait a second, I just remembered I forgot to mention something in my intro. I'm black. But if we're being honest, I think I'm mixed because of my silky hair. But that's another story. Now, I just didn't bring up my race to spark up small talk with you guys. What people don't know about race is that it plays a major role in glaucoma. According to a KPLC TV news report, African Americans are 5 times more likely to contract the disease than Caucasians. Dr. William Hart, an ophthalmologist at the Heart Eye Center, goes on to say that African Americans are also 6 times more likely to go blind from glaucoma than Caucasians, simply because they're not getting their eye pressure checked frequently. But this mistake, it's common for all of us. Think about it. When is the last time you've gone to the eye doctor? Exactly. Investigators at Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis have found that oxygen levels may affect African Americans acquiring glaucoma.
They found that oxygen levels are significantly higher in the eyes of African Americans with the disease than Caucasians. They suspect that more oxygen may damage the drainage system in the eye, causing pressure to build. This pressure damages the optic nerve, causing blindness. Now, this study is very interesting because it's the first physiologic link between race and glaucoma. But African Americans, let alone people, are not the only ones affected. I happen to have 2 little Shih Tzus at home. But my dogs have something very rare. Glaucoma! Can you believe that? Not only is it my brothers and I with the disease, but it's our dogs as well. Man, my mama sure know how to pick them. This is not as crazy as it seems, though. Glaucoma is actually found in man's best friend. According to Animal Eye Care's website, glaucoma is usually considered primary or secondary in animals. Primary glaucoma is found in many breeds, such as Cocker Spaniels, Chow Chows, and even little Shih Tzus. It's hard to determine if your dog has it or not, so the best way is to get their IOP checked by a vet. So now that we have viewed who glaucoma affects, black people, it's time to look at the new advancements and treatments to this rare disease. Now, from experience, I'm aware to all the first ways of treatment: drops, lasers, surgery. Having tried all 3 of these treatments and no progress, I'm searching for the new advancements that are being developed. According to an Australian Financial Review article titled "Taking the Pressure Off of Glaucoma," there are a new generation of stents and pipes that are being developed to help drain fluid into different pathways that direct it into deeper tissues in the eye. One of these stents has just been passed by the United States Food and Drug Administration. It was passed after a study showed that 68% of patients dropped to their target pressure a year after this stent was implanted. It's called the in-stent. But stents and pipes are not the only new advancements. Scientists at Washington University School of Medicine performed a study on mice and devised a treatment that prevents the optic nerve injury in glaucoma. This treatment deals with something we all are familiar with: stress. Jeffrey M. Gaudet, associate professor at Washington University, and others have shown that the right kinds of stress, such as exercise and low oxygen environments, induce a change in cells that make them more resistant to injury and harm. When scientists exposed mice to low oxygen environments repeatedly, they found that the stress of the environment produced a response called tolerance. This response made nerve cells in the eye less resistant to the optic nerve injury. Now, who would have thought that simple things such as stents, pipes, and even stress could help cure a rare disease? So, for all my friends out there who still think marijuana is the way to go when it comes to glaucoma, listen to this. The Glaucoma Research Foundation reported that while smoking marijuana does lower your eye pressure, it also lowers your blood pressure, which reduces the blood supply in the eye, damaging the optic nerve. So you're actually making the disease worse. As for me, I'm dealing with the disease pretty well, and I'm learning new things as the years go by. After opening up your eyes to what glaucoma is, viewing who it affects, and finally looking at the new advancements and treatments, hopefully you can understand why I see the world differently.
If we could have the finalists for humorous interpretation come down here, and up on stage, our declamation finalists. There were 6 finalists in the final round of oratorical declamation. In 6th place, from Charleston, Amy Daniels. In 5th place, from Marion, Kalia Thompson. In 4th place, from Downers Grove South, Dara Puvar. In 3rd place, From University High School in Normal, E.J. Newby. In second place in oratorical declamation, from Prospect High School, Ivy Fishman. And your tournament champion, from Thornton High School, Destin Patton Warner. And now your tournament champion in oratorical declamation, Destin Patton Warner.
Let's get right to the point. Anything I say to you here is to answer your biggest question. Should I or shouldn't I join the military? Everything else is just crap, right? Time's a wasting, and I need to know. Should I? Or shouldn't I? Well, let me submit this to you. I believe you've already made the decision. You're just looking to validate that decision. Am I right? Really, stop and think hard. Am I right? You know exactly what you're going to do, don't you? War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. In an open letter, Christian Ballman explains the hardships as well as the privileges of joining the military. Letter to a Young Enlistee by Christian Ballman. Joining the military is one of the most profound and personal decisions you'll ever make. Up there with who you'll marry. And I gotta be honest with you. I'm not gonna help you make the decision. First of all, because as I've already said, I believe the decision has been made, hasn't it? And secondly, I'm just not gonna help. What a jerk, you might be saying right now. Some tough guy author goes to war, says he's a soldier, writes about it, but can't go on record for or against it. Pfft, some tough guy. Yeah, whatever. See, here's the thing. No matter what I say to you, it's not going to affect your decision, is it? Because you've already decided. And here's another thing. I can't really talk to you about being a soldier until you are one or are not one. Either of those two people, I can talk to. I know exactly what I want to say to either of those two people. But to that third person, that might end up being a soldier but might not person, no, I've got nothing to say to you. I joined the Army because my daughter needed an operation. True story. I was 20 when I decided. My daughter needed an operation on one of her kidneys. A $30,000 operation, and we didn't have any health insurance. The Army has 100% health insurance, so easy decision. I joined the Army. But here's another one. I joined the Army because I had something to prove. True story. I was 20, had very little self-confidence. And it came to a point in my life where I realized, unconsciously, but it was still there, that if I didn't do something really big and really hard to prove my self-worth to myself, I would likely end up a deflated wreck of a human being. I had a couple of ghosts to kill. High among them, the stepfather that had belittled me for close to 20 years, and it looked like the Army might teach me how to kill those ghosts. Okay, those are two stories on why I joined the Army. Both true stories, 100%. Need me to go on? I got 1,000,000 of them. All true. But what about you? What are the reasons racing around in your brain? What's up there in the front and what's buried deep in the back? Be honest. Anyone who answers, saving the world for democracy or defending freedom, gets smacked on the back of their head, smacked hard maybe twice. If you joined after 9/11 to go kick the asses of the people who killed my New York neighbors, I'm with you. But that's not where we are we? We're in Iraq. And here are a few facts. Saddam Hussein had nothing to do with 9/11, period. And the presence of American soldiers in Iraq is making the world a more dangerous place for everyone, including Americans. If you didn't know those two facts, you're stupid, and I don't want you in my army. But if you do know those two facts, and you're still seriously thinking about joining, well then, now you've got my attention. Because I didn't say those things to convince you not to join. I just wanted to make sure you knew them. A few more. Someone died in Vietnam so our former president wouldn't have to go to war. There was a list of names. Names of men who qualified for exemption, and someone got kicked off that list so our former president could be illegally put on it. You know the truth, right? Dan Rather and Rush Limbaugh and all of the differing forces of media aside, everyone knows the truth. You do too, right? Funny. I don't see your hand wavering at all. I don't see you arguing with my points above, but then again, who can argue with what everyone knows? But I don't see your hand really wavering either. You've already made up your mind, haven't you? The battlefields of history are strewn with the bodies of young men and women who died for their country, or thought they did. I don't want you to die for our country. I don't want you to die. You're beautiful. Do you know that? I don't want you in pain, and I don't want you silenced. But in the end, you know exactly what you're going to do. And I don't need your reasons. The obvious ones or the buried deep ones. Just make sure you know the reasons, though. It'll make it easier for you to accomplish the things you need to accomplish. Make sure you know the truth of the world and the reality of your place in it. You're going to have to forget it all when you go. The truth and what you think about the truth. If you don't push it aside, it will get in your way, and that's dangerous. Dangerous to yourself and your fellow soldiers. But the truth will live inside of you somewhere. A small light. And be your compass. The truth will sleep inside of you, and it will be there for you later when you need it. Not if you get killed, of course. Because nothing can save you then. But a win. And oh, please, I hope so, you come back. When you come back, there will be pieces of you missing. Maybe something big like a limb or your sense of humor. Maybe something smaller, hopefully. Something will be gained, no question, but something will be missing. And when you finally take off your uniform and reconcile in everything, you're going to want to know why you're missing whatever it is you're missing. And you better be able to give a good reason. And it better be your reason. Not NBC News' reason or the president's reason or your recruiter's reason. Your reason. If there's any truth to the phrase defending freedom, it's simply that, more than ever you can imagine now. The truth will set you free.
If we could have the finalists in oratory join us down here and up on stage, humorous interpretation.
speechless. You got me speechless. I'm speechless. I'm speechless.
There were 7 finalists in the final round of humorous interpretation. In 7th place, from Glenbrook South, Jillian Judas. In 6th place, from Sandburg, Raul Jacob. In 5th place, from Oak Lawn, Emily Salamone. In 4th place, from University High School Normal, Allison Ogen-Moken. In 3rd place, from Downers Grove North, Nicole Smith. Your tournament runner-up in humorous interpretation is from Wheaton Warrenville South, Daniel Heiberger. And your 2013 state champion in humorous interpretation, Natasha Prosek from Downers Grove South. And now your tournament champion in humorous interpretation, Natasha Prosek.
Science fair. Let's meet our contestants. Hi, my name is Regina Flechter, and this is my. Oh, God. Can you just give me a minute to set up? Thanks. Hello there. I'm Bradley Dadley. My science fair project is the solar system. Fact or faction?
Hello. My name is Sam Lerman, and my science fair project is my mom's facelift.
Hello, everyone. Hi. My name is Tiffany, and my science fair project has to do with one of the greatest questions in all of science history. Is glitter edible? Is it? Is it because I ate some seed glitter?
My science fair project is not glitter. Is detergent A better than detergent B? AB. BA. AB. Woo. That's the title. Regina Flechter lives a hard life. Nobody at her school likes her, and she doesn't fit in anywhere. I hate it when I'm typecasted. Regina Flechter wins a science fair by Marco Ramirez. So I tested detergent. Detergent. You tested detergent. Detergent. Thanks, Bradley. Sure, Dadley.
Her lack of preparation really shows.
Let me show her how it's done. I bet all of you are sitting there laughing, thinking, hey, Bradley, of course the solar system's real.
It's in all the science books. The science books. No! Did you know that the science books used to think that the Earth was flat? And that Pluto was a planet? No, it's a joke! It's a joke! It's my turn now. As I said, my name is Sam Lerman, and my original hypothesis was that if my mom gets a facelift, my dad won't divorce her. That so wasn't the case. Now, this PowerPoint presentation here is going to show my mom during the stages of her facelift. This is what she looked like before. Hi, I'm Barbara. This is what my mom looked like during. No! I brought my mom along with me to show you what she looked like after her facelift. Here she is. Mom! Smile, Mom. I then decided that underneath my mom's skin, she looked like a baboon's derriere. This here is my mom's mentalis. This is her temporalis. And this here is my mom's buccinator. Clearly, it's not as pretty as my dad's secretary's buccinator. So, this here is cloth A, and I dirtied it with ketchup. Yeah. Don't you just shut up, Regina, and let somebody else win this thing? So for research, I read a study by the late L. Ron Hubbard. The L is an initial, he wasn't Mexican. Why don't you shut up, Bradley Dadley, because your name rhymes with itself. You know what? Sam Lerman. What, Bradley Badley? Stop! Who asked you? Nobody asked you! Shut up!
I think now's a good time to talk about glitter! Glitter like glitter. Achoo! Well, I thought about the science fair project about a year ago when I was making a birthday cake for my best friend, Shirley. Hey, there she is. Shout out to Shirley!
LOL, OMG, TTYL.
Oh yeah, NBD and OBGYN. So I was making a birthday cake and I was wondering, how much glitter is too much glitter? So for this presentation, I used 3 hamsters. The first hamster, I fed 1 teaspoon of glitter a day. The second hamster, I fed 2 teaspoons of glitter a day. And the third hamster, I fed him 12 teaspoons of glitter a day! Sometimes you really had to shove it in there. Now this here is a bar graph representation of when, why, and how each of the hamsters died. This here is a picture of their gravestones in my backyard. Here lies Mary, Kate, and Ashley.
My original hypothesis was that detergent A would be better than detergent B.
Oh my God!
What? You spelled detergent wrong. What? On your board, you spelled it wrong. Oh, I didn't mean to. It was just an accident. You're never going to win this thing.
I'd like you to meet last place. Are those ants on your board? Those are definitely ants. She should be disqualified. What? Ants are definitely on turn for disqualification. More like on grounds for ew!
Okay, guys, I'm sorry. You know, I did the science fair project on my own, and it wasn't easy. But you know what? It's all me. You know, I was determined to win this science fair. You know what? So what if I used ketchup when I wanted to use tomato sauce? That was because I ran out. And so what if I used glue and then I ran out, and then I used tape, and then when I ran out of tape, I used my gum.
That's why the ants are there!
It's not the point, Tiffany. The point is that I'm proud of myself. I don't care about the blue ribbon, or the red ribbon, or the green ribbon, or the whatever ribbon. Because I came here to say, detergent A worked better. Let's let the judges decide on this one.
Fact or fiction? My mom's favorite. Glitter, 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 glitter!
At least I tried, right? The results are in. Bradley Sure-Dadley. Oh, yeah! It's the runner-up. Sorry, Bradley. And the winner is Regina Flechter. It's Regina. Me. 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 Congratulations, Regina.
Yeah, congratulations, Regina.
Congratulations, Regina Flechter. Wins the science fair.
If we could have the finalists for poetry reading join us down here. Don't forget to bring your books. And up here on stage, original oratory. There were 6 finalists in the final round of original oratory. In 6th place, from Fremd High School, Renata Wetterman. In 5th place, from Palatine High School, Payal Malik. In 4th place, from Downers Grove North, Kate Carl. In 3rd place, from Downers Grove South, Dara Puvar. Your tournament runner-up in original oratory is Daquan Bruce from Thornton High School. And your tournament champion is from Glenbrook South High School, Elizabeth Wu. Your state champion in original oratory, Elizabeth Wu.
On May 8th of last year, U.S. Representative Michelle Bachmann became a Swiss citizen. Sort of. Since her husband's parents are from Switzerland, the Swiss government offered dual citizenship to the Bachmann family. Just 3 days later, after an outcry from her conservative base, Bachmann turned down the offer, saying, "I am and always have been 100% committed to the United States of America." Clearly, she doesn't like chocolate or watches. Or subtlety. In her eyes, it wasn't a symbolic gesture from her husband's homeland. It was somehow an attack on her American identity. However, as explained by Stephen Walt in Foreign Policy in November 2011, what we need is a more realistic assessment of America's true character and contributions to the world. Since the end of the Cold War, the world has shrunk. Technology, open borders, the information age, all of these things have created a global community. Yet while we help create this exciting time in history, Americans still reflexively think of ourselves as separate from other nations. But it's time we embrace being citizens of the global community, because it is our responsibility to improve and guide the changing landscapes of our world. So we'll first understand how we've sometimes confused patriotism with isolationist thinking. Next, we'll explore the benefits of becoming global citizens, before finally looking at what it means to be a global citizen and how it will not only help us, but the world. I have been fortunate enough to experience living in both Paris and Finland while being raised in the US in a Korean family. As a result, I got to celebrate a lot of holidays, from Thanksgiving to Mosquito Swatting Day to 어린이날 to La Toussaint. But these perspectives have also made me aware of just how and why some of us alienate other countries and cultures. As Elizabeth Lesser, founder of the Omega Institute, explains in her TED Talk, Take the Other to Lunch, in December 2010, we tend to otherize, or purposely separate two countries. Think of the way we raise money for developing countries, using imagery of sick or suffering children. Despite our charitable intentions, it contributes to otherizing. We don't do the same thing for American children. Take the campaigns for St. Jude Hospital. In them, children are obviously ill, but still smiling and participating. As we continue to otherize, we miss out on the human qualities that we all share. It's understandable why we do this. The United States was, for a long time, one of two global superpowers, and after the fall of the USSR, the only. Now, with the rising influence of Asian and South American countries, there's a fear that America is no longer great. Thomas Friedman and Michael Mandelbaum explained in Foreign Policy in November 2011 that Americans are becoming more insular, more protective. But this doesn't make us more exceptional, just more isolated. As Michael Ignatieff of the New York Review of Books in 2012 claims, affirming that America is exceptional has become the test of patriotism. We continue to prop up the outdated image of exceptionalism, needlessly disregarding our surrounding countries. The other day, as I was describing my trip to Paris, my friend interjected with rather condescending remarks about the French. Frankly, I was confused, because not only was she saying this over her baguette sandwich, but she had also used the word cliché, which is French. Aside from not realizing where her words or meals come from, she's also ignoring two crucial benefits to embracing our global citizenship. To begin, we have the ability to enrich the economic facilities of numerous countries, as well as ours. Stanislas de Carcise, president and chief executive of Van Cleef & Arpels, states in the New York Times on April 22, 2012, that he attributes his success to respecting cultural differences because it helped to sell to the world. Or take Hollywood, which epitomizes success by accepting diversity. It grows by catering to viewers everywhere, which explains why Will Smith is as recognizable in Beijing as he is on the streets of Bel Air. Additionally, Madeline Green of NASA claims global citizenship will build bridges to solving our biggest puzzles. For example, physics has been one of the most globalized of professions. A 2012 article from the Scientific American tells how Eliezer Rabinovich, a theoretical physicist, was able to get Arabs, Iranians, Turks, and Israelis to agree to build a particle accelerator, following the footsteps of the countries responsible for the Higgs boson. It's like the perfect model UN conference. Every country has separate methods for attaining the same goals, but we can achieve them more easily together. My friend Noor is the perfect example of a global citizen. From discussing the crisis in the Middle East to watching Al Jazeera News in her free time, to remarking about the German toilets used at the library. But she also reminds me what it means to be a global citizen and how it will change all of us. Author and philosopher Nell Noddings defines a global citizen as someone who values the lives of all people, not just those of our own nation, and understands that today's challenges cannot be solved by one country alone. So first, keep up. Keep up on international news and think about how it affects you at home. For example, although Syria may be 6,000 miles away, the humanitarian crisis affects everyone here. The National Journal on March 19, 2012 explains unrest in the Middle East stagnates global economic recovery by raising gasoline prices, for instance. By accepting that the ripple effects know no boundaries, we become more conscious about how we are interconnected. Second, support non-governmental organizations, or NGOs. As Parag Khan in a 2012 interview states, NGOs not only influence governments, but they also provide goods that other established bodies cannot. By supporting NGOs such as Amnesty International or Doctors Without Borders, we encourage cross-cultural learning and collaborate on issues from education to scientific innovation. As our generation continues to grow and assume leadership roles in our communities, we must recognize the benefits of becoming global citizens. No longer are countries only responsible for their own problems. Instead, we now face global terrorism, a global economic recovery, and global warming. These are all our burdens now, so the load shared will be easier to carry. Over the last 50 years, the world has grown more interconnected, yet many Americans are still on the sidelines, failing to embrace this changing dynamic. By learning what those changes in our global community are, the reasons why we have hesitated to join in, and the value of having a global mindset, I hope we can all agree that despite what Michelle Bachmann believes, being 100% committed to America does not require isolation. It was indeed almost 400 years ago when poet John Donne wrote, "No man is an island," to remind his countrymen they were all one people. I hope in some way I have reminded you the same. No country is an island. We are all one.
If we could have the finalists of radio speaking, and please bring your scripts down here to our finalist waiting area. And up here on stage now are your finalists in poetry reading. There were 6 finalists in the final round of poetry. In 6th place, from Downers Grove South, Mariah Copeland. In 5th place, from Wheaton Warrenville South, Grace McGuan. In 4th place, from Mattia Valley, Lauren Lisauskas. In 3rd place, from Rockton, Hunanega, Megan McGee. In 2nd place, in poetry reading, Jason Warrior from Richards High School. And your tournament champion in poetry reading from Marion High School, Pia Leander. Our state champion in poetry reading, Pia Leander.
This is how Brooklyn concrete feels. Warm beneath your underside, bare toes spread wide on brownstone stoop steps. An urban drumbeat sifts securely through the neighborhood subway grates, radiates through the wombs of black mothers on project benches, while the children play a wet game of Johnny Pump Tag in the streets. I went back to my old neighborhood today. A walk of a few blocks, a cloud seemed to hang over our side of the avenue. Even the street signs had changed. But there's nothing better than being reminded every day that you're ugly. And it isn't a mighty divide separating poor black folk from those that have black folk. It is a school where have less than others little black children learn their ABCs, while the have-mores walk past them onto schools blocks away where the children are not quite as black of skin, not quite as brown. In Black Body Parts by Dr. Monique Simone Farrell, the struggles for African American women to make the right decisions about their hopes and dreams looms strong and clear. The Art of Fine Speech and Just Another Girl in the Hood by Dr. Monique Simone Farrell. It is a delicate balance, this divide, separated by a little brick schoolhouse, one part legacy, a conglomeration of Clare and Heathcliff Huxtable houses. While the other side reeks of the insufficiency of poverty, the want of hungry bellies, lights out in elevators, urine on the walls, and oh, so tired minds. And we pass each other barely looking. Black men in Brooks Brothers suits, dreads pulled back to avoid the corporate hassle. The brother in combat boots who picks up trash. The sister in Anne Klein. Who hides her pain behind her work, while the poor one grits her teeth, rolls her eyes to hide despair and shame. One side wondering why some have so much, while the other can't understand why the have-nots can't ever seem to get or keep anything. But there are days when the wind is not so oppressive and carries with it the sound of double Dutch feet, barely touching the ground, quicker, louder, stronger than the bullets that lull them to sleep. And we crack ghetto syllables evenly and openly, taunting and laughing at the impurity of the English language. Occasionally, there would be a mural perfectly drawn with the fine-tuned skill of an artist, dedicated to someone who shouldn't have died, was in the wrong place at the wrong time, would be missed. And this proved to me that black men outside of mainstream America did indeed have compassion, because wouldn't you have to hurt to paint your feelings on a wall for everyone to see? And I thought, what pain, what talent. Thought drug dealers could be our greatest accountants. Didn't they balance money, choose clients, have people pay for their interests? That kid who outran for police officer should be in the Olympics breaking Carl Lewis's record. And the girl I heard rapping in the stairwell should be teaching poetry to children. I've been so tired here, have loved this place with an awesome fear, and this is why I went back. But there weren't many children playing. They paved over the playground to make room for parking spaces. The kids and the teenagers hung out in front of buildings, looking imposing. And it wasn't at all like when I was a child, when I used to hear, "Girl, you double-handed. Let Monifa turn." Taking turns inside of a rope made from someone's clothesline or an old phone cord. But I could never seem to get my legs to work in double dutch. I was afraid the rope would hit me. I mean, I felt as if I had failed my race. What black girl can't jump double dutch? And I couldn't make up for my insufficiencies by turning. I was the double-handed one. But I could sing the songs that kept the rope moving. Chitty, chitty, bang, bang, sitting on a fence, trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. She missed, she missed, she missed like this. While all of our mothers lined up in Building 7 to get government cheese and milk and bread, weren't they training us as they let us play until the street grew dark and it heard me saying, "Play, children. Play hard. Play until you're blacker than your skin and your sides hurt from laughing." Because woman's work is hard. I watched my mother. In order to combat discomfort, she and her girlfriend sang, "My love is some kind of blind love. I only have eyes for you." I love to see her like this, at play in love at last. But there will be no 30-something women play with the girls I grew up with. The 80s were hard, and while I took ballet lessons, one girl sold her body for crack. Another's became disease-ridden. 13 and 14-year-olds having babies by men who had other babies, while I left for college. I stood in front of Building 7, wanted to ask one of the girls, "Let's jump until we fall down on the concrete," until someone's mother yells outside of her window, "Girl, get your black butt up here before I reach down and snatch you up." So instead, I listened for the echoes of quickened feet, began to chant, walking slowly from building to building. I only have eyes for you. Hands outstretched in divination, I take nothing, leaving all of this and more. You see, it is all the same. We are all trying to master the speech of Brooklyn Bricks and learning how to be black one day at a time.
Come on down, finalists in humorous duet acting. If you join us over here, radio speaker finalists up on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, your finalists in radio speaking. There were 6 finalists in the final round of radio speaking. In 6th place, from Canton, Trevor Widger. In 5th place, from University High School, Jay Simmons. In 4th place, from Cary Grove, Joe Brommel. In 3rd place, from Revis, Jonathan Morsovillo. Your tournament runner-up in radio speaking is from Hersey, Andrew Napora. And our tournament champion, from Sandburg High School, Cora Georgiou. Radio speaking state champion, Cora Georgiou.
Dozens killed in a tragic crash. Border Patrol uses excessive force. President Obama to return to Chicago. Good evening. The time is now 8:32, and you're listening to Cora Georgiou on KRLH News Radio. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Aunt Letty's Kia Emporium, where car shopping is as easy as pecan pie. In international news, police say in Zambia at least 51 people have been killed after a bus crashed into a semi-truck north of the country's capital of Lusaka. Police spokeswoman Elizabeth Kanjela said the crash happened this morning at Chifamba, a town about 62 miles north of Lusaka. The crash involved a bus run by Zambia's postal service, which provides passenger service on buses that also carry the country's mail. Moving to northern Africa, Egypt's prime minister has condemned religious edicts by hardline Muslim clerics, calling for the killing of opposition leaders, and says the government is considering legal action against them. The state news agency says Hisham Kandil warned that such action could lead to sedition and disturbance. A day earlier, Egypt's most prominent opposition leader, Mohammed al-Baradei, head of the National Salvation Front, criticized the government's silence over the edicts. Coming from the U.S., a lawyer for the family of a teenage Mexican boy who was apparently fatally shot by a U.S. Border Patrol agent in October says an autopsy report shows that the victim was struck by at least 11 bullets, mostly in his back. Luis Parra says he believes the Border Patrol used excessive force in gunning down 16-year-old Jose Antonio Elena Rodriguez. Also in America, authorities in Ohio say a pocket-dialing prowler got himself arrested after his cell phone turned informant. Twice. Investigators say an emergency operator traced an accidental 911 call on Friday night to a home in Sydney, about 60 miles northwest of Columbus. They arrested Douglas Walliver inside. Walliver was found in a bathroom after his phone's low battery alert led the deputies to his hiding place, and there he was charged with breaking and entering. Looking a bit closer to home, President Barack Obama will travel to Chicago this week to address gun violence and other issues after his State of the Union address. A statement from the White House press secretary says the president will be in Chicago on Monday for an event. He'll also be traveling to Asheville, North Carolina, and Atlanta in the coming days. Last weekend, First Lady Michelle Obama attended the funeral of 15-year-old Hadia Pendleton. The teen's death has renewed the nation's debate over gun violence. Also in the Windy City, Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel has named a former Illinois Department of Transportation worker to replace Sandy Jackson on the city council. Emanuel says Natasha Holmes' appointment as alderman of the 7th Ward represents a break from the past and a fresh start. He praised Holmes for a record of community engagement. She's a former IDOT Special Projects Manager and Community Planner. We'll continue with sports and weather after a brief word from our sponsor. Need some new wheels? Head to Aunt Letty's Kia Emporium. Aunt Letty is baking up crazy prices on late model Kia Sorentos and Optimas. And every Sunday, Aunt Letty bakes up her famous pecan pie. Grab a slice after your test drive. Plus, take a test drive before April 1st and enter to win Aunt Letty's grand prize, a delicious pecan pie every month for the next 3 years. At Aunt Letty's, you'll always find fair prices and a low-pressure staff. Aunt Letty's Kia Emporium on Main Street in Peoria. where car shopping is as easy as pecan pie. On the ice with the NHL, Marcus Kruger and Jonathan Taves each scored 66 seconds apart in the second period, and the Chicago Blackhawks remained the NHL's lone undefeated team in regulation by beating the Nashville Predators 3-0 last night. Patrick Kane also added a goal in the third as the Blackhawks wrapped up their season-high 6-game road trip with their fourth straight win and improved to a 10-2 overall and 8-2 away from Chicago. Moving to the NBA scoreboard, sadly enough, our very own Chicago Bulls couldn't quite keep up with Washington, losing 101-98. Indiana just beat New York 89-87 in overtime, and Dallas topped Atlanta 117-99. And now for a peek at the weather. Today we'll be seeing mostly cloudy skies with highs in the upper 20s. Tomorrow will be sunny and warmer with highs in the 40s. And Monday we may see some snow showers throughout the day, so don't forget your winter coat if you're thinking about heading out, with a high of 37. This concludes today's broadcast, which has been brought to you by Aunt Letty's Kia Emporium, where car shopping is as easy as pecan pie. You've been listening to Cora Georgiou on KRLH News Radio. The time is now 8:37, and have a great night.
Will the finalists in prose reading join us down here in the waiting area while we recognize our finalists in humorous duet acting up on stage? We have 6 finalists in the final round of humorous duet acting. In 6th place, from Fenton High School, David Patton and Daniel Sanchez. In 5th place, from Wheaton Warrenville South, Katie Weeks and Tommy Ottelin. In 4th place, from Oswego High School, David Mateka and Giselle Gaztambidi. In 3rd place, from Marion High School, Kyle Fitzgerald and Regina Hoyles. Your tournament runners-up in humorous duet acting, from Morris High School, Josh Hosek and Jacob O'Mara. And your tournament champion, from Sandburg High School, Patrick Kelly and Raul Jacob. And now your tournament champions in humorous duet acting, Patrick Kelly and Raul Jacob.
But soft would light through yonder window breaks.
Pat,
What?
I'm not playing the girl.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna play the girl. But soft would light through yonder window.
Pat.
What?
I'm really not playing the girl.
Okay, well, you got to.
Why?
Because you've got the feminine figure. Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I do. Oh, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, and thou no longer be a Capulet. Doff thy name and take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized henceforth.
What did you say?
Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized.
Call you butt love?
No,
Okay, you're butt love. Butt love, butt love, butt love.
Okay, what are you doing?
Well, you know what they say, Romeo. Lack of booty makes you moody.
Now that you've had a little taste of our butt loving,
We'd like to introduce ourselves.
I'm Pat.
And I'm Rahul.
And it gives us great pleasure to announce that we are about to attempt a feat that we believe to be unprecedented in the history of civilization. And that is to perform the 20th anniversary revised edition of the complete works of William Shakespeare abridged.
Pat, we only wikied 3 plays.
That is to perform the 20th anniversary revised edition of the complete works of William Shakespeare abridged.
Oh. By Adam Long,
Daniel Singer,
and Jess Winfield.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon, I swear.
Oh, swear not by the moon! The moon!
Well, then what shall I swear by? Oh, okay. Lady, by yonder blessed virgin, I swear.
Oh, no, I don't think so. No. No. Do not swear at all. Although I joy in thee, I take no joy in this contract tonight. It is too rash, too sudden, too unadvised. Sweet, good night.
I call it my Romeo Sosa.
Sweet, good night. Sweet, good night. Yo, butt love, over here.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
Romeo Sosa.
And Romeo and Juliet died. I'm done playing girls.
Let's move on to Othello.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present Othello, the Moor of Venice, as a rap.
It's more of a clap.
A clap and rap.
Now here is the story of a brother named Othello. He liked white women and he liked green jello.
And a punk named Iago who made himself a menace because he didn't like Othello, the Moor of Venice.
Now Othello got married to Desdemona.
And he took off all the wars and he left her alone. It was a Mona, a Grona. He left her alone.
Now Othello loved Desdemona.
And Desi loved Othello because he had a big
sword.
Right. And Iago say, dang, I'm gonna shaft the Moor.
How you gonna do it?
Tell us, I need a dupe, I need a dope, I need a kind of a schmo. So he find a chump sucker by the name of Cassio.
And Othello gets to wondering.
Just maybe if, while he been a fighting, commanding an army, are Desi and Cass playing high. Party,
Dude, no.
Oh.
No. And the fellow come home and his mother will be out.
And he thinks he pulled it off without a fiat.
Oh, and Amelia say that's Othello.
O-T-H-E-L-L-O. Yo, homie, she want no.
Now for the most philosophical and psychological tragedy ever written, Hamlet.
Cats, no more girls.
All right, listen, I will cover all the other characters. You just take care of Hamlet.
Even the girls?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now present Hamlet, the Prince of Denmark, the battlements of Elsinore Castle. With a ghoulish sprite.
All right, okay, your uncle killed me.
How ghoulish and frightening! To be or not to be.
Okay, you know what? Just be. Just go and go.
Right.
From this point, we skip to the end, where the blood flows free.
And Hamlet goes on a killing spree. Neither the bower nor the lender be. Shut it, Ophelia's father. Oh, sweet Ophelia.
I only picked violets.
That is not a girl. Come here. You need your butt out just up, voice high.
Oh, okay. So
You see, now that's a virgin. Ophelia, get thee to another ring.
son,
Mother.
oh, well, thou kill me.
What habit is thy hell?
Killing my father and my sister and you.
Die, Laertes! Die, Laertes! Die! Die, Laertes! Die!
You killed him. Oh, yeah, you got it.
And Hamlet dies.
No. Thank you. What are you doing? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 20th anniversary revised edition of the complete works of William Shakespeare abridged. I'm back.
And I'm Rahul, and the next time you think of Shakespeare, think about
Us.
If we could have in our finalist waiting area the finalists in special occasion speaking. And up here on stage, we'd like to recognize our finalists in prose reading. There are 6 finalists in the final round of prose reading. In 6th place, from Lamont High School, Ryan Luzo. In 5th place, from Hinsdale Central, Laura Nelson. In fourth place, from Harrisburg, DJ Duncan. In third place, from Downers Grove South, Dan Leahy. In second place, from Matea Valley, Eric Zhang. And your tournament champion in prose reading, Ben Edwards from University High School. Now, your state champion in prose reading, Ben Nelson. Ben Edwards.
My girlfriend Louise and I went to a party, mostly advertising people I knew from work. It began late and followed a long day where all I wanted was a simple meal in front of the television. But I knew I'd hate myself if I missed it. Things happened at parties which your friends talk about for months, sometimes years. You can't miss them. You can't just get in on a great joke after the fact. The party was in a refurbished warehouse. There was a band in one corner and a cash bar. I was mad at myself for going and pissed that I'd brought Louise because she didn't know anyone. So we started bumming cigarettes off people, and if they said yes, we'd ask for 4. And then she waved to this chick who was heading over to the bar. I couldn't see because of how dark it was, but she stood over 6 feet tall with long, jet black hair. She had on blue jeans and a t-shirt, those sharp hip bones you can feel right underneath a bikini. I wanted to have a chat with her, so when Louise went to the bathroom, I hustled on over to the bar, wangled up to this chick, whipped out my best head fake and grin, and it was a man. Poet Audre Lorde developed a continuum of sexuality, which states that the vast majority of people lie somewhere between fully heterosexual and completely homosexual. Although society generally pressures us to identify as either straight or gay, life's courses sometimes lead us down unexpected paths, and our reactions to these new and unfamiliar stimuli often shock us most of all. Sam the Cat by Matthew Clem. He had some high cheekbones. Maybe he could be one of those handsome, pretty male models. I don't know. I'm not an expert on how guys are supposed to look. Up close, though, he did need a shave. When Louise came back, I told her. Not that I went running over there, but that when I saw him out of the corner of my eye, he looked like a chick. I'm such a turkey sometimes. I don't know why the hell girls go out with me. I mean, I lie, I cheat, I can never remember the name of her best friend, and I hate to dance. I do often, but I attract a crowd of people who can't understand how bad I am. It's like the worse I act, the more people want to be around me. I went home and shut my eyes and tried to sleep. Except there was this guy, the guy who looked like a chick, walking around the party in my mind, and I saw how his pants stuck out a little. Somebody stop me! I was horny. I was so horny I couldn't believe it. I just kept thinking about his jeans, and see, in my mind, he was sort of a woman, but what do I want to say here? I made myself make love to Louise. I didn't want to, and she was the very picture of unconscious, but I had to. I'm a man. Any man would have done the same. Now what? What? Was I all of a sudden gay? What? I went to sleep one night and woke up a homo. A few days later, we were having drinks at Sid's, and the guy came in, with a blonde on his arm. Louise, of course, waved hello and offered him a seat. His name was John Drake. He was a house painter. He ran his own company, and he played in a band. He seemed like a pretty cool guy, very normal acting with those light, pale blue eyes. Later, we were lying in Louise's bed getting reacquainted when I wondered whether anything in my house needed painting. And I saw his pants again in my mind. He was wearing different ones that night, khakis, and you could tell he was very slim and in good shape. There I am, thinking about a man queasy with the weirdness of it. It felt like I was 12 again, caught in my mom's closet. I thought the cops were going to come in and bust me. Because they should have. John had given me his card, so on Sunday I left a message on his machine that I wanted to talk to him about a commercial he had in mind for the country western theme. I said we needed a band, and I'd call him that night, and hung up fast. That night I was getting more and more worried about making this call, but I finally did, and John answered. Hey, John, it's me, Sam Beerton. I left that message on your machine. Oh, yeah, sure. Well, what's the word? Well, as I mentioned, our creative director wants to use up Western music on this Juan's Tacos frozen food ad. Tacos? So should I write a song about tacos? No, don't do that. That was your girlfriend I met the other night, right? Oh, yeah, women, it's a crazy thing. I could write a book on everything I know about women. I should have you come over tonight, and I give you my full explanation. What? I should write that book and give my full explanation. We said a couple more things, and then I hung up. After work the next day, I drove to the mall. Bought some navy pants made of thin material, and then I got hair gel and a cream that's supposed to tone your skin. I called John that night to follow up. Your band is great. Thanks. So your office got that demo? The way you sang on it was terrific. You could sell anything with that voice. Can I ask you a question? Shoot. Would you come over tonight so I can make you dinner? This isn't about the tacos, is it? I can make tacos. Are you gay? What? No, of course not. Forget it. Forget what? Lately, it seems I can't get close to anyone without offending her or him. I tried to call Louise, but she takes the phone and she puts it near the blender I gave her last year. Set on crush, it sounds like. Of course, Louise still turns me on, but what do? Go over there half gay and start kissing her? What am I saying? This would all be easier if I were married and had kids. But who would I marry? I'll tell you who. Myself, with my cat, Skippy, as the mascot. We could sail around the world together. I'd give him a little yellow rain suit, man the mizzen mastiff for a little while, grab me a halyard. I would love the seagoing life. Because maybe out there I come across something, anything I could understand.
If we could have the finalists in original comedy join us down here in our finalist waiting area, and up on stage recognize our finalists in special occasion speaking.
Do
There were 7 finalists in the final round of special occasion speaking. In 7th place, from Oak Lawn, Emily Salamone. In 6th place, from Hinsdale Central, Shayla Sundram. In 5th place, from Glenbard West, Connor McDonough. In 4th place, from Wheaton North, Lily Zacharias. In 3rd place, from Carbondale High School, Maggie Scudder. Your tournament runner-up in special occasion speaking, Cooper Packard from Marion High School. And your tournament champion in special occasion speaking, Allison Ogunmoken from University High School. And now here is your special occasion speaking state champion, Allison Ogunmoken.
Fellow Senate representatives, it has come to the attention of the administration that our schools clubs have forgotten the true meaning of acceptance, specifically in the case of Becky Johnson. She's in tons of clubs, she acts, and she fences. But without fail, every time she joins a team, they bench her because of one tiny little detail. Becky has a peg leg. And sometimes when she fences, she uses her leg as a sword. Which is weird. But let me make my point even clearer. Last week at Becky's theater audition, they cast her as a pirate before she even recited any lines. The play was Dreamgirls. Then she went to the Wilderness Club where they posed the age-old question, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck Becky's leg? What I'm starting to find is that even though Becky is a member of all these clubs, nobody really accepts her. This unique combination of injustice and insensitivity Becky faces is what we would refer to as tolerance, or as I like to call it, society's 50-year-old Band-Aid. We adopted this term at the dawn of the Civil Rights Movement and used it as a solution to remedy prejudices among peoples. Unfortunately, this undercover hate philosophy created more problems than solutions, and we're seeing the effects of this in this school today. Now, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Becky is imaginary. She's the product of my dreams after some bad Mexican food and NyQuil. Don't try it. But I had a dream. And it was way too weird not to share with you guys. So today, with the help of Becky, we'll examine the causes, effects, and solutions of ripping off this crusty Hello Kitty Band-Aid that we like to call tolerance. Okay, so I dreamt Becky decided she was going to join the rock climbing club. But unfortunately, her peg got caught on a slippery rock and it snapped. Poor Becky. Unlike her leg, she just can't get a break. Causes, there are 2. First, we assume the fight for civil and political rights is over. And second, we perceive tolerance and acceptance to be the same. First, society is functioning under the assumption that the fight for civil and political rights is over. We've created the illusion that the hard times are over. We have a black president now. Racism doesn't exist. And therefore, there's no need to sympathize towards differences. A study conducted in 2011 by psychologist Sarah Conrath suggests our growing emphasis on the self corresponds to the devaluing of others. That is, if it's not about me, then it must not matter. Similarly, if Becky breaks her peg but nobody hears it, did it really break? It did. All in all, we are so focused on ourselves that we aren't even cognizant of the happenings taking place outside of our lives. Second, we perceive tolerance and acceptance to be the same. The United Nations defines tolerance as respect, appreciation, and acceptance for our world's diverse cultures. However, when used in a social context, this word carries negative connotations. The real definition of this word is by Merriam-Webster, stating tolerance is the act of allowing something, meaning we need permission to be ourselves. Basically, tolerance says, girl, you smell like a cheeseburger, but I guess you can sit at this table. Whereas acceptance says, girl, you smell like a cheeseburger, which is cool because that's your heritage. Come sit with us. After Becky broke her peg, she went to the ER where, surprise, surprise, they don't make accommodations for those with wooden appendages. So her doctor gave her a Band-Aid. At this point in my dream, I was so incensed, I turned to the doctor, morphed into Little John, and asked, what? Okay. What? Okay. Effects. First, we use tolerance as a Band-Aid, and second, we have become satisfied with tolerance. First, similarly to Becky's faulty doctors, we use tolerance as a Band-Aid. This post-civil rights mentality has created the beginnings of an even bigger wound. German writer J.W. Goethal once said, tolerance should be a temporary attitude only. Also schnitzel. We never actually remedied any of the original problems that still exist today. African-American teen Trayvon Martin was shot and killed in his own neighborhood. Women make 77 cents to every male dollar. And I can't leave my house without people wanting to touch my hair. Second, we have become satisfied with tolerance. In a separate study conducted on May 29, 2010, psychologist Sarah Conrath asked questions regarding family, friends, and people less fortunate than themselves, and compared answers of students in the 1970s to that of students today. In the final stages of her research, Conrath found a 40% drop in empathy among today's students than their counterparts of 20 or even 30 years ago. 20 years ago is the 90s. And if we are less sympathetic than the grunge kids of the 90s, we failed. Our implementation of tolerance has ironically created the intolerant and judgmental society we live in today. If you're wondering how my dream ended, it went a little like this. Gandhi, or Oprah, fell from the sky and started singing this. What if Becky was one of us, discriminated like all of us? It was at this point in my dream I realized I got incepted. It was at this same point in my dream I realized two solutions. First, educating ourselves, and second, appreciating each other. But first, realizing that tolerance and acceptance are not the same thing. We can do this personally by taking the initiative to educate ourselves. Motivational speaker Wayne Dyer states, the highest form of ignorance is when you reject something you don't know anything about. The reason we tolerate things is because we are too passive to actively learn something new. So go open a book, find out about your friend's religion, and somebody please go find the book on Kwanzaa, because what is it? We need to be like that one girl in college who tries everything and then gets a well-balanced education in liberal arts and sciences. I know where you thought I was going with that one. But get your mind out of the gutter. I'm a lady. Our prejudices are a direct result of ignorance. And if we eliminate ignorance, we are on the road to fixing and ultimately solving this problem. Second, appreciating each other. We can only solve this problem through a direct overhaul of our social skills. In the midst of accepting her TED Award in February of 2008, world-famous author, scholar, and former nun Karen Armstrong puts it best when she says we need to move past toleration and towards appreciation. In doing this, we have taken a giant leap for humanity and an even greater peg for all the Beckys of the world. So today, we have examined the causes of this intolerantly tolerant society, the effects of our 50-year-old stinky, stanky Band-Aid, and solutions that will lead to a more accepting society. Just by being here today, we are on the road to fixing and ultimately solving this problem. And just so we're clear, Becky isn't an amputee. In my dream, she was born with her peg leg. Becky is a metaphor, a way for us to talk about the problems plaguing us today, because sometimes it is hard to talk about the things that make us all different. Senate representatives, Becky represents all of us. She represents misfits, outsiders, cute black girls with afros. Leaders, our progress this year starts and ends with teaching students that we are all equals. Although Becky isn't a perfect metaphor, she helped us peg this issue pretty well.
If we could have the finalists of original comedy up on stage.
Bring in the dog and put out. Come on, baby, I'm tired of talking. Grab your coat and let's start walking. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Come on, come on.
There were 6 finalists in the final round of original comedy. In 6th place, from Plainfield North, Aram Razian. In 5th place, from Fenton High School, Daniel Sanchez. In 4th place, from Warren High School, Maxwell Tort. Third place, from Huntley, Brian Goldfarb. Your tournament runner-up in original comedy, Luke Engel from Wheaton North. And she is accepting the medal for Luke Engel. And our state champion for original comedy 2013, Dan Leahy from Downers Grove South.
Baby, I'm tired of talking. Grab your coat and let's start walking. Come on, come on. 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 Don't procrastinate, don't.
And now your 2013 state champion in original comedy, Dan Leahy.
For as long as I can remember, I have always wanted to be special. When I was 3, I wanted to be the first redheaded president of the United States. When I was 4, I wanted to be the world's first neurosurgeon / male go-go dancer. And when I was 5, I wanted to be a lemon. But ever since my little brother Patrick was born, I feel like we've always been competing for my dad's attention. Hey, Dad, look at this awesome trophy I won. Wow, son, I hate you. Sorry, what did you say, Dad? Oh, did I say that out loud? Sorry, I meant to say I hate you. Dad, that's what you said the first time. Oh, I'm just kidding, except I'm not. Hey, Dad, look at this rat I found in the alley. I think it's dead. Wow, son. Son, that is amazing. I love you and I have so much respect for you. See, I used to think it'd be cool to have a little brother. We'd be like Mario and Luigi, but now we're more like Cain and Abel. But seriously, we used to play all these fun games, like Power Rangers and Cops and Robbers and Phantom of the Opera. He was the Phantom, I was the Opera. But ever since my little brother entered and won the Now That's What I Call Talent show, it's all that my dad can talk about. But his talent wasn't even all that cool. All he did was sing a rendition of Ave Maria. While tap dancing and juggling chainsaws that were on fire. Oh, and I just hate it because I know the same thing's going to happen again this year. But this year something's going to change because this year I'm going to enter and I'm going to win.
Hello everyone! Welcome to the auditions for the 2013 Now That's What I Call Talent show. My name is Joe, but you can call me Wrecky Man Joe for short. And I'm going to be your MC throughout this talent show process. So let's get started out with some auditions. You can go first, miss.
Hello, everyone. My name is Patrice. My talent is dieting. I can't do it!
Patrice, you are so special. You remind me of my wife, Maria.
Is she beautiful?
No! Next!
Hello. My name is Samantha. Do you know what that is? That is a dog. He's going to be performing some tricks for you today. Sparky, sit. Sparky, I said sit. Sparky, you're being rude. You know what happens to rude dogs. So Sparky, sit. Sparky, I hate you.
I'm sorry, Miss Samantha, but I'm afraid we can't take you in the talent show this year, but there's always next year.
I have a knife in my pocket.
In that case, congrats, you made it! Now let's go on with you over there.
Hi, my name...
Hey! You have red hair. You're a witch! A voice an hour!
What? No, please, I just want to audition for the talent show.
Fine, you can have what you want. Just don't take my wife. Joe, fine, take my wife. Just leave me alone.
Well, I made the show. It didn't go exactly as planned, but that's okay. But I knew that I needed to win. And the other acts weren't super impressive, so I figured it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But when we got to the night of the show, it felt like everything was falling apart.
Hello, everyone. I'm sorry, but unfortunately I have some very sad news for you tonight. My wife, Maria, has recently passed away.
Honey, I'm right here.
Dang it! I guess we'll just go on with the show then. You guys can go on break or whatever.
Hello, Patrick, other son. I brought you guys some lunch. Oh, thanks, Dad. I'm starving. What, you eat? I brought your brother some $1 tacos from El Famous Burrito, but I guess you can have this bag. Oh, thanks. What's in it? Nothing. It's a bag. Enjoy. Dad, you know what? I'm sick of this. Everything is for the greater glory of Patrick. I do everything just to gain your respect, and you don't give me any. And Patrick, you don't really help the cause either.
Danny, is that what you really think? I guess I'll just go then.
Hello, everyone. My name is Grandpa Joe, and welcome to the 2013 Now That's What I Call Talent show. We have some interesting acts for you tonight, starting with me doing some stand-up comedy, which is funny because I can't even stand up. Well, that's all I got. Let's go on with your first act for tonight, Patrice.
Hello, everyone. Like you said, my name is Patrice. Observe these donuts. I will restrain myself from eating them.
Well, let's just say I can't wait to see that again in my nightmares. Next up, we'll have Samantha doing some dog tricks.
dog is dead. Never mind, he's actually just sleeping. Never mind, he's actually dead. That was a solid effort, Samantha. And finally, if you know it, we have Dan. Hi, everyone. It was then that I realized that I didn't have a talent. I had been working so hard trying to be my brother that I never came up with anything. You guys, I'm really sorry, but I don't have a talent for you tonight. Yes, you do, Danny. Remember the thing we planned out beforehand? Just like when we were little. Phantom of the Opera. Sing once again with me our strange duet. My power over you grows stronger yet, and though you turn from me to glance behind, nothing. Okay, seriously, y'all gonna clap, make me stand the splits for 20 minutes? Well, we won. Can't have children now, but you know priorities, right? We got a standing ovation, and my dad was even crying.
Son, I don't even know what to say.
What? Are you crying because my performance was so beautiful? No, a small man just punched me. Okay, Danny, I just want to say you did a great job out there. Oh, thanks, Pat. We really make a great team. Yeah, and I didn't know you could do the splits. I didn't either. But, you know, I'm really sorry I yelled at you. I guess I just got a little jealous. What? You were jealous? Danny, you're the coolest big brother ever. You're like the Cain of my Abel. Let's just stick with Mario and Luigi. Everything worked out in the end. Although it didn't go exactly as planned, I think everyone was happy. Well, everyone except for Samantha. My dog is still dead.
We'd like to announce the Team Sweepstakes Awards. I know it's been a long night. It's been a fantastic night of great performances. And now we're going to recognize the top 10 teams in the state. We have these wonderful trophies for the top 3. So when I get to third place, we're going to ask the entire team and coaching staff to come on down, and we'll recognize them for their achievement. But I'm going to start. Come on up, Miss. Yes, come on up. One moment, please. Pay no attention to the people walking in front of me. Right there. If this were a duet, we would have not have blocked it that way. Just trust me on that. All right. In 10th place with 11 points, Prospect High School. There was a two-way tie for 8th place. So with 12 points, the team from Glenbrook South High School. And also with 12 points, the team from Wheaton North High School.
How'd you keep your head up?
There was a two-way tie for 6th place. With 13 points, the team from Sandburg High School. And also with 13 points, Wheaton Warrenville South. In 5th place, with 14 points, Thornton High School. In 4th place, with 18 points, Downers Grove North. In 3rd place, and receiving a trophy and medals for the entire team, with 20 points, Marion High School from Chicago Heights. Marion High School is coached by Mark Donaway, Tom Zurison, Dee Goldrick, Sarah Zavala, Melissa Harmon, Lynn Hilger, Christina Reyes, Sean Goldrick, Tammy Lang, Jackie Heidegger, David Lipschitz, Connor Keene, Kurt Lang.
How'd you keep your head up and hold your pride?
State Championship third place team, Michelle Caparelli, Kyle Fitzgerald, Regina Hoyles, Jasmine Jackson, Pia Leander, Kristen Milliner, Cooper Packard, Kalia Thompson.
That if you make the effort, you cannot fail. By your life you tell me it can be done. By your life's the courage to carry on. Heroes appear like a friend to clear a path or light the flame. As time goes, you find you depend on your heroes to show you the way. What can I learn from you? That I must do the thing I think I cannot do. That you do what's right by your heart and soul. It's the imperfections that make us whole. One life can tell the tale. That if you make the effort, you cannot fail.
The third place team from Marion High School with 20 points. Congratulations. In second place, with 26 points, Downers Grove South. Downers Grove South, coached by Nicole Perino, Chris Blum, Hunter Evans, Jennifer Hernandez, Morgan Manna, Justin Makovich, Julie Schwartz, Omar Udden. State second place team, Mariah Copeland, Stephanie Coupland, Jane Drews, Dan Leahy, Sue Paul Mehta, Natasha Prosek, Zara Pubar, Alex Werner. your second place team from Downers Grove South. I want to thank all of you for being a great audience this entire weekend. Thank you for coming. Coaches, all of your packets are on the table right outside here. And remember, all of your tab sheets are available electronically on the IHSA website. Now we're going to recognize our state championship team. And that team with 29 points is from Normal University High School. U-High, coached by Mark Adams, Lori Adams, Steve Michaels, Shannon Maney, Amy Secretan, Annie Kincaid, Brian Roman, Suzanne Lumber, Anaya Wiggins, Carrie Crumwee, Justin Adams, Cambria Vance, Sarah Zaboral, Talon Huron. Your state champion competitors, Ben Edwards, E.J. Newble, Audrey Keene, Madison Oakley, Allison Ogun-Moken, Hannah Prenzler, Charles Schuler, Hannah Schuler, Jay Simmons.
Let's all celebrate and have a good time. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone, come on. It's a celebration. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. Come on now. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here. A dedication to last throughout the years. So bring your good time and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate and party with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Yeah, yeah. Celebration. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure?
Your state championship team, University High School.
It's a celebration. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. Come on now. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. 'Cause we're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. 'Cause it's alright.